This one is not so short. Evidence of fascism and military in the cops.
Sure.
So I don't think it comes as a surprise to anyone, but Unicorn Riot does an amazing job. Dan Feidt came out with a report based upon the January 6th documents that came out revealing plans to overturn the election as military questions deepen. And again, this isn't like conspiracy stuff. This is actually looking at evidence and warnings from 3 retired generals and people who actually are in the chatter, and a convenient list of difficult to locate primary source documents. Yep. And these are real. They discussed how to forcibly overturn it. Okay, reading aloud the text messages, and this a lot of this came out in the hearing. It's out there. Politico reported, of course. We know Politico's heavily biased towards the Democratic Party. We know that. 51-page report about Mark Meadows, including some of his correspondence, which we know was the subject of a lot of discussion for a couple of days. Again, this is a really long article. I highly recommend going through it, because if you're going to talk about what happened, considering that the anniversary is going to be this week.
Oh, DeVos. I saw DeVos in that.
There's going to be a lot of conversations about this, and it does kind of help to have as much background and information, because this is what the people on certain sides are going to try to hit you with. And this is knowledge that's really important to have. Key officials have claimed that the main DOD IG's report about the Capitol protests and its aftermath is deceptive and incomplete. However, the level of military coordination around January 6th has major consequences.
Or lack thereof.
Right, or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Correct. There was a lack of military coordination. Correct. Flynn was Deputy Chief of Staff. And Walter Pyatt. Okay, they were accused of lying to Congress. Initial reports of his presence in meetings and conference calls were hazy due to military-issued denials. He was not in any of the meetings, and then he was in the meetings. Was he, wasn't he? We don't know. But apparently he was. And this is what, when people had to testify under oath, yes, turns out he was. But they basically, again, we know that they knew. There's not much that we're learning new here, but that there were people on the inside. And that's what we've been saying from day one. Again, this is super long. There's so much evidence and so much testimony. And then you go back to all the connections and the photos of the people together, pre-planning, and the night before, and this website, and they all appeared on this platform.
Wait,
and
unconfirmed
for this event.
older man.
What?
Go back up. Unconfirmed older man.
Oh my God!
That guy.
Really? Well, because they this is everybody on the, I guess. And who's that guy? I don't know. Is that Flynn?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not Flynn. Could be a different Flynn. Okay, then you've got Ali Alexander, Mike Flynn, Steve Bannon. They're all mentioned in here. So yeah, the Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. That's...
Yeah,
again, these hardcore right-wing things. This is all, Flynn promoting martial law election return. Even, back in December, and they've got this Jericho March. All right, he could immediately, on his order, seize every single one of these machines. He could, okay. Martial law has been instituted 64 times, and I'm not calling for that. Right, but he is. He isn't, but he is. All right, then this is their Kraken motif. They're calling for bold legal moves based on falsehoods. Again, this is what it's all been proven out to be. Kraken intel. It's only 3 seconds. Oh, I guess there was some kind of a noise about the Kraken.
The
So
Kraken.
much evidence and so many articles.
Yeah.
Look at all this. This sourcing is ridiculous. So again, go check this out. Also along that theme, it's not just the military that helped plan this. And again, I really didn't see too much active military mentioned in
I still
here.
don't know exactly what they're planning. Like, I mean,
What they were
to me,
planning was to seize the ballots, was to seize the box during the count to make sure that they couldn't certify the ballot and certify the
okay.
election.
So
I don't know what the
how would a
eventual
Jan
goal was.
6? Right. How is Jan 6 gonna do that? Like, yeah. Anyway,
I still don't know what the
it's
goal
just
was.
confusing. Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, it just seems like it's already over. Like, you know.
Yep. I mean, but it's really important to understand exactly what happened and who got involved and who did what and to look at the evidence. And now that you can subpoena and have all that information, I mean, to understand how it was planned. I know that there was military, there was people involved. Look, and Capitol Police ended up the biggest beneficiary of January 6th of anyone with $2 billion funding and offices set up all around the country. Not hearing anything here. What do you mean not hearing anything here? Darlene? You're not hearing anything? Uh-oh, that's
I'm
not
hearing
good.
stuff on YouTube.
I'm hearing stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think your volume might be down, Darlene. I don't know. Hopefully not. But it's not just what's going on January 6th. But man, this is a terrible story. Thank you, Warren. Andrew Emmett is another outstanding writer for NationOfChange. I don't mention him enough, but LAPD releases videos of an officer-involved shooting inside Burlington. This was a 14-year-old girl. An innocent 14-year-old girl. They killed her.
Yeah, we back up. They killed 14-year-old girl inside a Burlington store in North Hollywood. LAPD released video footage. Oh, great.
I'm not going to play the surveillance video. Entered the store with a bicycle and bike lock, which he used to hit a computer monitor, security camera, several customers. He appeared drunk while staggering around second floor and repeatedly hitting partition next to the escalators with the bike lock.
Do you know about the I think it's in Japan and China, they use these like metal poles that are like crescent shaped on one end or whatever? Right?
No.
You ever seen those? Yeah, so it's a big like long stick with like a pole that's like, man shaped. So you can essentially like push the stick into somebody, then like push them up against a wall, and like three of your like cop buddies can also grab one and do the same thing until you have enough people to like deal with the problem, or they tire themselves out, right? Like, but that would have been nice here, or a net gun or anything other than,
Okay, according to several people, although several people called 911 to report that a suspect was assaulting customers with a bike lock, one of the callers erroneously reported that she heard gunshots, despite the fact that the bike lock guy did not have a firearm. And in the newly released body cam footage, a witness told the responding officers that the suspect was attacking people with a bike lock. But they entered the store. A fifth cop with a rifle ordered the other officers to slow down so that he could take point after they noticed a woman bleeding from a wound to her head. So, in the cam video, he stood in front of the dressing rooms with the bike lock in his hand. As he attempted to flee, the officer with the rifle fired 3 shots, which killed him and the 14-year-old girl who was hiding inside the dressing room with her mom.
Oh, God. Fucking Jesus Christ.
She must have been standing in front of the. Yeah, was she shot? Noli said she was shot in the. Oh, Nicole thought she was shot in the chest. No, I think that the suspect himself was shot in the chest, but the girl was
I mean,
was hit. Valentina. Huh. Wow.
Was that neither of them had it that, like, you know, anyway.
That honestly sounds more like an accident.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, he didn't have to shoot the first guy. There wouldn't
Did he have
been
to
an issue.
kill the guy? No. I mean, he was
Right.
going crazy with a. I mean, do they have like that? They have those non-lethal pellet things to stop them, or tasers,
Rubber
and
bullets or whatever. Right. I mean, tasers have, you know, can be somewhat lethal too. But like, yeah, anyone could have, like, you know how cops look. They're meant
there
to
were
be
5
giant
cops. There were 5 cops. They fanned out.
Right.
They had this guy pinned,
Right.
and they
You're
knew.
in a store. You can lock all the doors and get everyone out. Like, you know, it's just kind of like they don't think through those things. There's just initial, like, deal with a problem, and the trigger finger will do that for you. Apparently,
They saw someone was bleeding with a head wound, but
right.
not the girl
Yeah.
who was killed.
Right, and then you get you get them a medic. That's what you have medics for. Like, you know, like, I'm not saying the guy wasn't dangerous, but like, you could still deal with him without, like, I don't know.
Yeah, negligent homicide. Eric's calling it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right, but they're gonna get, you know, what's that thing called?
Yeah, qualified immunity.
Qualified immunity, right?
Well, you better get hip to indie left, indie left, indie left.news.